They actually swept a bad team. World Series back on. This is Locked On Blue Jays. It's right now.
You are Locked On Blue Jays, your daily Toronto Blue Jays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Matt Bonaparte, Ben Shulman with you here on Locked On Blue Jays, starting your week with us on your Monday episode. Thanks for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen every day. We are free. We're available wherever you get podcasts. You know who else is free? You know who else is available for the taking? The Pittsburgh Pirates. Man, Jays, take them out. I mean, the offense wasn't exactly a juggernaut, but the pitching was there, man. And I will take that, especially when you threw a bullpen game right in the middle. And I'm going to start right now. My storyline for this series, perfect time for a bullpen game, and I am so glad that it worked. Trevor Richards, kind of looking back on it, we were talking about who might be the starter of the bullpen game. He was kind of like the obvious candidate, that he was a starter in the past, like he started games before. Yusei comes in. He is the worst performer out of any of the guys that pitched in that game. But who's surprised? It's not me. It's not that guy. Nobody's surprised. Other than him, Jimmy was great. Simber was great. Bass was great. Mesa was great. Romano comes in. Romano's a dog. You're going to hear a little bit about him later from me. Great time for the bullpen game. I love it from the Jays. They sweep the series in Pittsburgh. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and look, Yusei wasn't good. I will say slightly in his defense, the double that he gave up, the triple, that he gave up the run on was just like an insane O'Neal Cruz, like hit a ball below the zone almost all the way out of the park. Still, I'm not saying like, let's get Yusei back in the rotation. But I guess slight defense for him there. But yeah,
I'm still going to Yusei back in the rotation.
I'm going to offend us too by saying I do still think David Phelps was a valid candidate. But yeah, I mean, Trevor Richards was a guy we were wondering, should he continue to be on the roster really going forward? And this is a point of value where he could really fit in there. I do now wonder, between Richards, Kikuchi, and Mitch White, it really only feels like you need two of those three. It doesn't feel like you need all of them. So it kind of feels like Kikuchi and Mitch White should have some sort of competition to be the guy after the opener. But I totally agree. It's the Pirates. And unfortunately for the great people of the Steel City, that's not a good ball club. So to reset the rotation to line up the right guys for the upcoming Orioles series, which we'll discuss later, is a ton of good momentum going forward that you could win that reset game and then pick up the sweep. Like you said, I mean, I think we both said before, like we wouldn't be distraught if the Blue Jays won 2 out of 3, but at the same time, like we wouldn't be that happy. We'd be sitting here being like, whatever. And while they didn't win the most convincing games ever, to sweep is to sweep. So that's pretty cool. Which I guess goes into my storyline, other than, hey, this is a weird setup. Sorry, YouTube viewers, but I'm moving into my apartment. My main storyline is got the job done. I mean, I don't think it was pretty, like I mentioned. Would it have been cool to win one game 8-0 or 9-0? Yeah. But at the same time, this was a big opportunity. They gained 3 games on the Yankees. Are the Yankees playing right now?
The Yankees are the worst team in baseball. They're probably going to be at the bottom of the division by the end of the season, so it doesn't even matter. Don't even worry about them right now.
Red Sox are hot for people contesting that.
I'm totally thinking the Yankees stink. The worst team in the league. Yankees are 5 games up on the Rays, 6 on the Jays.
Okay. So they must have beat the Rays.
They beat the Rays today.
Okay.
Yesterday for the
Game 2 on the Yankees, and the Orioles not sweep the Athletics, which was huge. So, like, that sweep, winning that third game was big. The Blue Jays are now 2.5 up, I believe, on the Orioles, and gained 2 games on the Yankees, and game to game on the Rays. Like, really needed that sweep and got the job done. Who's your MVP?
MVP for moi. I'm double MVP. I'm back-to-back MVP. You know what that means? Jordan Romano, man, because he's crazy. He's nuts. He's bonkers. This guy comes into games. He's like jittering. His eyeballs are falling out of his head and stuff. Like he's molting on the mound. Like I don't know. He's doing crazy stuff.
Sweating
Like I said last
profusely.
time, he's fidgeting the ball. Like he's just going crazy. And he comes in 2 games in this series, shuts the door. He's got a 2.06 ERA on the year. He's had bad points this year where you're like, come on, what are you doing to me, Jordan? That Judge homer. It was like, why do you keep throwing that slider? That's the best hitter in baseball right there. What are you doing? And then that White Sox game where Ben got so mad while
Episode
recording the
never
pod
released.
that it, it's the one that I want back, to be honest. Ben got so mad during the pod that 2 things happened. One, Restream, the software we use to record these, shut off entirely. We just couldn't use it. It's the only time that's ever happened to us. Knock on wood. The other thing that happened is that he was like, I don't want to talk about baseball. Let's talk about college basketball. Let's talk about the NBA draft. Let's talk about anything else. I've never seen it from the guy. It was crazy. Anyway, Romano bounced back. He's fantastic now, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, he almost did that thing where, like, when you're too good at a game like MLB The Show and you turn the sliders up, he gave up 2 hits to start the 9th inning in the finale, which for us is today, for you is yesterday. And then he was like, yeah, because I'm going to strike out the next 3 guys. That's exactly why I allowed second and third with nobody out in a 1-run game, because I'm going to strike everyone else out. And the Blue Jays had a home crowd on the road to help him out. So my non-MVP is the Blue Jays crowd that traveled to Pittsburgh and just dwarfed the Pirates crowd. But my actual MVP is Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette had a great series. He hit the home run in game 1 that really made it, at least a comfortable game. He hit the double in game 2 that made it a comfortable game. That's what you need from Bo. Big extra base hits. He's not going to finish this year hitting 300 or even 280. That's just not going to happen. But he's a doubles machine, and he's got a lot of pop for a shortstop. Kind of rhymed there unintentionally. But Bo Bichette, love to see it. He makes the lineup so much deeper when he's good. So Bo Bichette is my MVP in this series. Sweet.
You want to hear a wholesome anecdote?
Wholesome anecdote from Bones.
I have been, over the last 3 days, I have been sorting and putting into binders my entire baseball card collection, and my mom's been helping me do it. And she saw a picture. I got a lot of Bo cards for some reason. Like I was just alphabetizing the J's today, and I've got a ton of Bo cards. She saw Bo and she was like, "This guy seems cool. He's my new favorite player." So he gained a play. He gained a fan. So shout out Mrs. B. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to answer some emails. We haven't done it in a while. We got a couple to answer, so stay tuned for that. First, we're talking LinkedIn. As you gear up for fall, you need the right people on your team to help your small business fire on all cylinders. LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Wow.
We continue on Locked On Blue Jays. Matt Bonaparte. I'm Ben Schulman. After the sweep, before the O Series, your questions have been emailed to us at lockedonbluejaysreal@gmail.com. We want to hear from you down the race. You are our people. What do you got, Bones?
Bang. Bang, bang. That's a lot of visual effects for audio listeners who are.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like at least once an episode, we're like audio listeners have no idea what's going on right now. We're just a visual pod. At the end of the day, you want to see our faces. We're a visual pod. Want to see my Austin Matthews jersey that's right behind me that nobody ever sees because my big head's in front of it. Anyway, we got 2 questions. Guess what?
What?
They're from the same man.
Same man, 2 questions.
Apologize. We're talking to a guy named Carson. Carson's first question, which came on September 1st, 10:26 a.m. He woke up, he typed this baby out. He said, I got to ask the guys a question. I got something burning on my mind, and I got to get it out. So he wrote us. He said, you think George Springer is leading the Blue Jays to a World Series? Keep up the good work. Now, hold on. People are going to say, Bones. Everybody knows that you are the World Series or bust guy. That may or may not be true. You can make your own opinion about that. But what I will say is that while he might not be the most talented player on the team, George Springer could quite possibly be most valuable to this team in the fact that he is a leader, and without him, the Jays are nothing, it seems. So if anybody's going to do it, I think it's going to be Springer, and you're going to hear me talk about that a little bit more when we get to our hype trains and scaries.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a complicated question because obviously a team gets to a World Series, but we've mentioned, I mean, the leadership quality that George has is absolutely necessary to get them to a World Series. And I'm going to say yes, that if they're going to get to a World Series, I believe George leads them there because a lot of the reason you signed George Springer is the dude is a legit playoff performer, like a really, really legit playoff performer. Why do I got you cackling over
there? Yeah, I just looked at the second email.
Okay,
you know what the second email is?
No, we can't.
I got to tell you what the second. I have to tell you what the second email is.
No, let me answer and then get.
No, I have to tell you what it is. The second email, and I like the way this Carson guy thinks. This is my kind of guy. Okay, the second email from Carson is, "How do you think George Springer will play when they make the World Series?"
Okay. All right. So I guess we're answering 2 questions in one for you here, Carson.
That's my guy, Carson.
Appreciate it. So George Springer is an insane player performer. That's a big reason why you signed him. Let's not forget that this is the 2017 World Series MVP. In a 7-game World Series in 2017, he hit 5 home runs. 5 home runs. It's not like that's the only time he produced. If you go to 2018 in the ALDS, he hits 3 home runs in the only 3 games he plays in there. In the ALCS that year, he has a 1.125. If you go to the 2019 World Series where they don't win, he has a 1.108 OPS in 7 games. In the 2020 ALDS, when Houston entered the playoffs as a sub-500 team in the shortened season, he had a 1.199 OPS in a 4-game series win over Oakland it was. And he's still, even not in his best series, hit 2 bombs in the ALCS that year versus Tampa. Springer is a playoff performer. If they are going to get to the World Series, he is going to be leading from the front. So, yes, Carson, I don't know if they're going to make the World Series. If they do, it's probably because he gets them there. And if Carson is prophetic and he is correct,
of course he is,
then George Kelly is going to play well in the World Series because that's what he does. Your thoughts?
You want to hear a crazy stat about George Springer in the postseason?
Let's hear it.
He has 21 multi-hit games in the postseason.
That's pretty nuts.
That's bananas.
So he's played 63. So that's every 3rd game you can expect multiple hits.
Yeah, and he's got 9 games where he scored multiple runs. So the dude is just everywhere. He's been fantastic in the postseason. Everybody knows that. And even among the cheating scandal that has marred just about everybody who came from that 2017 Astros team, He was good the whole time.
He's
Like
still good in 18 and 19 and 20.
yeah, like I am one to say like I wasn't happy about that, but at the same time, like I don't know, George Springer was unstoppable in the postseason that year. Like the dude was just a man on a mission. I don't really know how you're going to take stuff away from him. I mean, he really was like so good in the 2017 postseason, especially like you said, the World Series, where he in Game 5, 6, and 7 he had multi-hit games in every one of the games.
5 homers in a 7-game series.
He was fantastic.
No one else on the team was hitting 5.
He's a gamer, dude. I'm telling you, the dude is just a gamer.
And the whole point of being very cautious with him, it's kind of like if you're a Blue Jay fan and a Raptor fan, you load manage Kawhi so that he can go nuts in the postseason. You have to be careful with George at all times, and the hope is that he goes nuts in the postseason.
All right, Ben. How do you feel about a quick prospect roundup?
You want to go super quick?
Super quick prospect roundup. Final prospect roundup of all time?
I almost want to give it more time than this. We're really thinking on the fly.
We don't. We're in the middle. We can't. There's not much we could do here.
We are in the middle. Do you want me to check on the playoff picture of all the minor league teams to preview a prospect roundup coming tomorrow?
So we're not doing it right now. We'll do it tomorrow.
You want to do it tomorrow?
It sounds like you want to do it tomorrow, so we can do it tomorrow.
I do want to do it tomorrow, and you're a nice guy. But we can give a little like a playoff picture very quickly as Vancouver is unfortunately to Spokane right now. So a lot of leagues work as two halves. Who wins the halves? Some good news coming out of the Florida State League at the single A level. Right now is tied for the lead in the second half. So they are tied with Lakeland, the Tigers affiliate. So that'll be interesting. That is to be decided with just a less than 10 games to go. So that's a team to look out for. Dunedin tied with Lakeland. They each have 6 games remaining in the season. Who am I looking for next? In the South Atlantic League. Oh, no, that's not the league they're in. This is what happens when we do stuff on the fly. I apologize for it. In the Northwest League, Vancouver is leading in the second half. So it looks like Vancouver, the 5.5 game lead on Spokane, is going to make the playoffs. So that's pretty cool. At the AA level in the Eastern League, New Hampshire is more than likely not going to make the playoffs. Let's see.
Brutal.
Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs. Sorry to my guys out in New Hampshire. That is tough. And then if we flick it over to AAA, that's a full season league, AAA. So it's about who does the best in the whole year. And unfortunately, the Buffalo Bisons are 6 halfbacks, so they would need basically everything to go right for them.
And
we already do some of our favorites. It still could. It still could. They're in the race. We're going to preview those teams tomorrow. Or not those teams, but players on them. But I was, for some reason, against it today. I don't even really know why. How about our audio listeners get some ads like right now?
And we're still here. We're moving.
Especially on video.
See, the funny thing is when we say that part, the ads have already happened, so the audio listeners also heard that part. Anyway, we're talking Orioles Series now, man. This is the big-time stuff, okay? This is the team that has had the number of Toronto all year long. The Jays simply can't get it done against the O's, man. And it's because of Ryan Mountcastle. And it's because of Austin Hayes. And it's because of Rugi Odor, okay? It has been a terrible, terrible trio of pain that Toronto's had to deal with while playing Baltimore, okay, man? Let's talk about this. Who is your scary going into this game? If you have been following this podcast since day one, first of all, thanks. Really appreciate that. Second of all, you already know what Ben's scary is going to be.
My scary is Ryan Mountcastle, Mr. Bones. And frankly,
Knew that.
It can't not be. It just simply has to be Ryan Mountcastle. In 9 games this season, Mountcastle has hit 5 home runs with a 1.265 OPS. He is one of the best hitters against the Blue Jays in the history of baseball. Like legitimately, his OPS against the Jays career meant a certain number of plate appearances, which for him, 3 years in the AL East is at least a somewhat decent amount, is insane. In 34 career games against the Blue Jays, 14 homers with a 1.089. He's only getting better against them. And that is my thesis.
Yeah, he's good. That guy just hits tanks, man. I mean, he just powers baseballs out of the park. Just what he does. I mean, he's impossible to. You might want to just intentionally walk him every time he gets up. He is Barry Bonds when he plays.
Give him the Bonds.
Give him the Bonds, man. Bases loaded. Mountcastle's up.
First.
Whew. All right. You know, that was coming. We knew that was coming. I'm going with the guy I've gone with before. And it's because in this series, the Blue Jays are throwing 2 guys that I don't have a whole lot of confidence in. Okay? Mitch White and Jose Barrios are both slated to pitch games 2 and 3 of this 4-game set. Now, these guys haven't been good. Flat out have not. You can give me whatever you want about Barrios. He's had good games. I don't care. Gets hit. I'm going with Anthony Santander, switch hitter. And let me tell you some crazy stats about this guy. I just looked at his last 10 games because, you know, that's a decent, not a great, but a decent view into how a guy's been doing really in the near past. What he's been doing very close to what, you know, how he's been doing. In the last 10 games, Santander is slugging .541 with an .826 OPS. Now you're thinking, wow, this guy's on a heater. But first, Ben, guess his average in those 10 games.
It's got to be pretty good, right? 320.
189.
Oh, wait, 320. That would just make no sense.
189.
So he's in bombs.
He's got 7 hits in 10 games, 4 of which are homers. Okay? Now, I don't think he's going to have a lot of hits in this series, but when he faces Barrios and when he faces Mitch White, ball's going out of the park. It's going out of the park, and I don't know what to tell you. It is. So I'm scared. I'm scared of that man, Santander. Who's your hype train, Benny Scholes?
My hype train happened to be my MVP. It's Bo Bichette. That's right. I'm doubling down on Bo Bichette. I think Bo's hitting his groove. B, he's a good performer against the Orioles in his career. Although he's a good performer against a lot of teams in his career. Go look at splits. Pretty nasty hitter. But in 37 career games against the Orioles, 17 extra base hits. That's almost one every other game. 24 RBIs. That's almost 2 for every 3 games. And an .858 OPS. That is what I like to see. I think Bo Bichette has another good series. I think he's a confidence guy. I think when he has confidence, he's rolling like that start to his career when he set that doubles record for rookies. So I got Bo Bichette just committing some bird on bird beatdowns.
Love that. Love that from you. That's good energy. It really is. Appreciate that from you. I'm going here with a man who has been clutch and then not clutch and then clutch again and then hurt and then clutch and then not clutch. And this is the time where he's going to get clutch again. I'm going George Springer. Okay. I'm going George Springer. He, in the month of August, from August 4th to August 28th, he was on a 12-game hit streak. He had 20 hits in that time for a .455 average, OPS of 1,156. He only had 1 homer, but 10 ribbies. The dude had an on-base percentage of .520. .520. Guy was insane. But then an iceberg showed up like he was on the gosh darn Titanic, and he just has been brutal. He had 2 hits in Game 2 of the Pirates series. And in the finale, which happened today, he did not play. So he didn't have a hit in that game because he didn't play in that game.
Tough for him.
So he's only got 2 hits over his last, 5?
Yeah.
So he's been brutal. But this is where he starts going up again. I mean, you play the Orioles. Everybody on the team is teeth clattering, knees shaking when the Orioles show up, except for George. George is like, guys, this is the Orioles, okay? This is the same team who was throwing out Felix PA in 2009. Okay, same team that was putting everything on. He was a Blue Jay favorite, Nolan Reimold, at one point in time. Okay, this was the same team who paid a lot of money to get Kevin Millwood on their squad and threw out Jeremy Guthrie every 5th day like he was a gosh darn ace. All right, this is Baltimore. Okay, I don't know what you guys are scared of, and he's going to go out there and he's going to hit tanks.
It's the same team that paid Chris Davis to have the worst non-hit streak of all time. Also, Kevin Millwood, he was a Blue Jay, so that's cool.
Good for Mill.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I will say,
now I have to
we're in the territory to make this statement so many times, but at this current juncture, this is the most important series of the year.
Kevin Millwood was not a Blue Jay.
No? Why am I?
No. It is a very important series, though. Every series is the most important series. We're going to keep saying that. You're going to hear it until the playoffs start, and then you're going to hear it even more. Yeah, the O's are hard.
Because they beat them, and if you win the series, it's a 4-game. If you win the series 3-1, then you're up 4.5 games on the Orioles. And doesn't that feel sweet? If you lose this series 3-1, you're up a half game on the Orioles. Truthfully,
you don't want that.
Truthfully, while I'm not that happy to admit it, I would take a split.
Wow.
I don't want it.
You, sir,
but I would take it.
Do not have World Series back on vibes attached to your voice. That's all I'm saying. All right, Ben.
I'm not Carson.
Who or what word should the YouTube viewers leave in the comments if they've made it this far?
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. Put it in the comments. If you need to spell it, look it up. Thanks for making Locked On Blue Jays your first listen every day. Go make your second listen. The ultimate pro football preview 2022, an 8-episode extravaganza to get you ready for the NFL season. The local team experts of the Locked On Podcast Network, plus a betting angle from the Lee Sterling himself. That's Lee Sterling with 2 E's. He's from Locked On Bets. He's combining everything into one ultimate NFL preview along with those other guys. Search for Ultimate Pro Football Preview 2022 on your Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get podcasts. I'm Matt Bonaparte. He's Ben Shulman. We will talk to you later. Go Packers.